Scientists inscribe Bible on pinhead. Israelis use particle beam to make what could be smallest Old Testament. Jerusalem. Israeli scientists have inscribed the entire Hebrew text of the Jewish Bible onto a space less than half the size of a grain of sugar. The nanotechnology experts at the Technion Institute in Haifa say the text measures less than 0.01 square inch surface. They chose Jewish Bible to highlight how vast quantities of information can be stored in minimum amounts of space. It took us about an hour to etch the 300,000 words of the Bible onto a tiny silicone surface. The university's scientific advisor for educational programs told the Associated Press, the Technion's microscopic Bible was created by blasting tiny particles called gallium ions at an object that then rebounded, causing an etching effect. When a particle beam is directed toward a point on the surface, the gold atoms bounce off and expose the silicone layer underneath, just like a hammer and chisel. The technology supposedly will in the future be used as a way to store vast amounts of data on biomolecules and DNA. The tiny Bible appears to be the world's smallest. The previous smallest known copy of the Bible measured 1.1 times 1.3 times 0.4 inches, weighing 0.4 ounces and containing 1,514 pages, according to the Guinness World Records. The tiny text, obtained by an Indian professor in November 2001, is believed to have originated in Australia. So, they can now miniaturize the Bible, or the Old Testament, on to a space less than half the size of a grain of sugar. Well, I don't know. That looks like a sign to me. Anyway, they can do all that, right? But what about the rest of the world? What about wars and conflicts? What about global climate change or global warming, whatever you have to call it? What about all the diseases? What about all the problems of the world? And who's going to be able to read this teeny tiny Bible? How do they know that all the words were etched onto there? Did they proofread the 300,000 words personally themselves? Did they have to use some kind of electron microscope to see it? What good? Oh, they're going to prove a point, I see. Nah, this should be, yes, another sign of the last days, end times. And yes, there are many of them. Good ones and bad ones. Many, multitude upon multitudes of signs in the end times. And what did Jesus say? Let's go to John chapter 4, verse 35. Do the math or don't do the math. It shall still come. Say not you, there are yet 4 months, and then comes harvest. Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes, and look on the fields, and the cities, and the land, for they are white already to harvest. Now is the time. The harvest is ripe. The grapes are ready. Yes, fig tree is budding. If you can't see the signs, can't do the math, if you don't know the numbers, it's still going to happen. There we go to John chapter 4, verse 48. Then said Jesus, except you see signs and wonders, you will not believe. That's why there has to be signs and wonders in the last days, end times. Well, people might not believe anyway, I don't know. At least everybody gets a choice, don't they? It's good to have a choice. Decisions and decisions. It's time for decisions. Decision time on old planet Earth. This planet Earth, I think it's supposed to be around for a little bit longer. And the way human society is going nowadays, nope, that part don't look good. They're on a crash course to massive global extinction. But God is coming back. He has to, or there's just no hope for the world. Yes, the Lord God Almighty is coming back. Believe it or not. Period.